आप देख रहे हैं डीडी कशिर, एहसास कश्मीर का।
Hello and welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Shreya Savijay. Let's take a look at some stories of this week's episode. POK activist slams Pakistan for exploiting the minerals and other natural resources of its illegally occupied territory. Youngsters in Pulwama setting up their own units under Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Scheme. Cultural show Tarunadaya organized in Jammu to connect the youngsters to their Dogri roots. Mega Kisan Mela organized in Udhampur to make farmers aware about the latest agriculture techniques and technology. And later, in our special edition of Incredible India, we'll visit Adi Mahotsav, which was recently organized in New Delhi. Gilgit-Baltistan and POK have such huge reserves of precious gemstones and other resources that, if used to their full potential, they can alone change the socio-economic status of the local inhabitants. But this could never become a reality due to Pakistan's illegal occupation of these territories. Activists say that Pakistan has been plundering their natural resources and minerals over the past 73 years. But the irony is that even after looting the resources of GB and POK, that too at a huge scale, Pakistan claims to be the one who is providing for their needs. We bring you a report.
Blessed with nature's boon and plethora of natural resources and minerals, illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan and POK are rich in their possession of metallic and non-metallic minerals, precious stones, and different rocks of industrial use. As per an international report, precious stones worth 12.5 billion US dollars are found in the Neelam Valley of POK alone. Red ruby, which is one of the most expensive gemstone, also has huge reserves in both Gilgit-Baltistan and POK. While in Gilgit-Baltistan, it is found in Aliabad, Hasnabad and Ahmedabad of Hunza Valley. In POK, it is found in Neelam Valley and Muzaffarabad. It is estimated that around 3 billion US dollars of ruby is found every year in POK. Moreover, in the vicinity of Muzaffarabad, there is 1,594 million tons of coal and 250 lakh tons of gypsum reserves. But even after being such mineral-rich territories, the locals of Gilgit-Baltistan and POK are still forced to live in poverty and subhuman conditions. Activists say that Pakistan has been exploiting all the minerals and other resources of its occupied territories without sharing even a minuscule amount with the locals, who are the real stakeholders.
वो ये जो निकाले जाते हैं ये इससे मुस्तफ़ीद अवाम नहीं हो रही, ये पाकिस्तान के कुछ बड़े लोग हो रहे हैं। और एक और रिपोर्ट है कि न्यूयॉर्क स्टॉक एक्सचेंज की रिपोर्ट है जिसके मुताबिक सो फार जो कुछ उन्होंने रूबी की मद में निकाला है पाकिस्तान ने, वो कहते हैं कि 40 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर्स का जो वो निकाल चुके हैं वो। ठीक है जी, अगर उसका न्यूयॉर्क स्टॉक एक्सचेंज की जो वैल्यू के मुताबिक आप देख लें कि कौन किसका खाता है। जो आदमी इन चीज़ों को एक्सपोज़ करेगा, बताएगा, वो कहते हैं ये गद्दार हो गया। भाई अगर आप सच बोलना गद्दारी है या आपने हकूक के बारे में जान पहचान करनी या आगाही करनी है गद्दारी है तो सो बी इट। लोगों को बताना ज़रूरी है कि क्या हो रहा है आपके साथ।
Pakistan's plundering of resources is not just limited to minerals, but also extends to forests as well as water resources. As per the reports, at the time of partition, the total land covered with forests in POK was estimated to be 1.6 million acres, making up 42% of the total land mass, but today, the forests have shrunken to less than 14%. Every year, 1.8 to 2 million trees are cut, which is also said to be one of the major reasons for the frequent occurrence of landslides and the large number of fatalities during the 2005 earthquake. Moreover, due to the stealing of trees by Pakistan, POK is looted of 84 crore rupees annually. The theft of water resources is another example of Pakistan's exploitative attitude towards its illegally occupied territories. For constructing Mangla Dam, it grabbed the most fertile lands of the locals in Mirpur, used their rivers to generate hydroelectricity with the promise to provide them 300 megawatts of free electricity. However, in reality, POK people pay more per unit than those in Pakistan's Punjab. On top of that, they are not even allowed to build small dams of their own in order to cater to their power and electricity needs. Activists say that even after plundering all our resources, Pakistan still keeps the audacity to say that we are surviving on their charity.
कि हमारे पास ज़खायर की कमी नहीं है, ज़खायर मौजूद हैं, वसाइल मौजूद हैं, उनको जो है इस्तेमाल जो कर रहा है वो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान कर रही है। और अगर हम अपने इन हकूक़ की बात करें या अपने वसाइल की बात करें तो हमें कह दिया जाता है कि जी ये गद्दार हो गए हैं और ये एंटी पाकिस्तान हो गए हैं। भाई एंटी पाकिस्तान हम नहीं है, एंटी स्टेट नहीं है। हम तो कभी भी हमेशा कहते हैं कि हम एंटी स्टेट नहीं हैं, हम जो हैं पाकिस्तान की गलत पॉलिसियों के मुखालिफ हैं। ठीक है जी? और अगर हमें अपने हकूक़ की बात करना अगर कोई जुर्म है, तो फिर ये जुर्म तो होता रहेगा। मैं नहीं करूँगा तो कोई और करेगा। अब अगर हम मकबूज़ा हैं, हम पर कब्ज़ा है, हम पर कंट्रोल है और अगर हम अपने हकूक़ की बात भी नहीं कर सकते और फिर ये कहा जाता है कि आप जो है ना हमें खिला रहे हैं, जबकि हकीकत ये है कि आप हमारा खा रहे हैं।
Pakistan is not just exploiting the resources of the occupied territories itself, but has also given a free hand to its ally China and a number of foreign companies to do the same, leading to the detriment of the local economy and pushing the actual owners to the state of deprivation and poverty.
Next, we move to Jammu and Kashmir, where the authorities have been taking a number of steps to boost the economic structure of the territory and provide more opportunities to the young workforce. These initiatives taken by the central government in the form of comprehensive schemes like the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Programme have been providing financial aid to micro and small-scale industry owners and pumping up businesses in the region. Have a look.
Businessmen in Jammu and Kashmir are now able to expand their enterprises easily further, building a gateway towards a better and a prosperous future. All thanks to the government initiatives to generate employment opportunities in rural as well as urban areas of the territory through schemes facilitating self-employment projects. Prime Minister's Employment Generation Programme or PMEGP is one such scheme that has successfully provided financial aid to the people in the territory.
जो बेरोजगार नौजवानों के लिए अंडर PMEGP प्राइम मिनिस्टर एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन प्रोग्राम जो एक सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम है उसके तहत अपने कारखाने डालने के लिए लोन दे रहे हैं, जिसमें उनको मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर के लिए 25 लाख तक लोन मिल सकता है और सर्विसिंग सेक्टर में 10 लाख तक लोन मिल सकता है। इस स्कीम में उनको 35% मार्जिन मिली, एक किस्म की सब्सिडी गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से मिल रही है। इस वक्त तक बहुत सारे नौजवानों ने हमारी तीनों एजेंसी से लोन लिए हैं। मेरे पास एक थोड़ा इस साल का 742 लड़कों ने हमसे लोन लिया है इस PMGP के तहत।
This is Muhammad Asghar Bhatt, a resident of Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama district. Bhatt got a loan from the District Industry Centre, Pulwama, under Prime Minister's Employment Guarantee Programme and started his own venture. Located at the industrial estate of the district, his unit manufactures footwear, especially slippers for both men and women. Bhatt's unit currently employs 20 people, and his products are sold across different parts of Jammu and Kashmir. His unit is one out of many examples that have become a success story due to the centrally sponsored schemes like PMEGP.
मैं बेरोज़गार था, फिर मैंने फिर यहाँ अपना यूनिट खड़ा किया है IGC लासीपुरा में। यहाँ ज़मीन मैंने लीज़ पे ले ली है। फिर मैं KVIB पुलवामा से राब्ता किया, फिर PMEGP थ्रू उन्होंने मुझे बहुत सपोर्ट किया, लोन दिया, उन्होंने 25 लाख रुपए लोन दिया है। फिर मैंने यहाँ चप्पल का यूनिट खड़ा किया है। मुझे थोड़ा 5-6 महीने हो गए स्टार्ट किए हुए। अभी मैं मार्केट बना रहा हूँ। इंशाल्लाह मार्केट सही हो रहा है। मैं यहाँ करीब 20-25 आदमियों का रोज़गार चला रहा हूँ। यहाँ 20-25 आदमी मेरे साथ काम कर रहे हैं। आज ऑफ सीज़न है, इंशाल्लाह मार्च अप्रैल से मेरा सीज़न फिर से शुरू होगा।
The scheme is turning out to be a life changer for a number of citizens and budding entrepreneurs in the territory, as it provides them with an opportunity to become job providers rather than job seekers. Launched in 2008, Prime Minister's Employment Generation Programme is an initiative of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Under the scheme, beneficiaries can get a subsidy amounting to 15 to 35% of their project cost from the government. Its main aim is to facilitate self-employment opportunities for widely dispersed traditional artisans and unemployed rural and urban youth to the degree feasible at their location. Last year, as many as 2,320 units were set up in the Union Territory under the scheme. It is due to such center-sponsored schemes that the youngsters of the territory are getting opportunities to turn their dreams into reality.
Popularly known as Venice of East, Jammu and Kashmir displays a diverse blend of cultures that have been for long acting as a bridge amongst the people of different communities. But with technological advancements, these cultures and traditions are slowly losing their sheen, making it the need of the hour to take steps for their preservation. Moving on the same lines, authorities recently organized a mega cultural event in Jammu to restore the glory of rich Dogri culture and enable the youngsters to cherish their roots.
Jammu was engulfed in the richness of Dogri heritage as it played a host to the mega cultural event on Dogri folk theatre and musical show Tarunoday. Organized by Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agricultural Sciences and Technology, Jammu, by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations or ICCR Regional Office in J&K and Ladakh, the event saw some of the most amazing performances by the youth of the region. Around 40 talented young artists from Guidance and Counseling Cell for Youth Development, Gurha Slathia in Samba, performed on the stage and showcased their skills before the enthusiastic audience.
हमारा जो पूरा थीम जो कल्चरल प्रोग्राम है, इसका पूरा थीम डोगरी पे है। सर, एक तो हमने जो मेन थीम्स रखी हुई हैं, जैसे से नो टू ड्रग्स, दूसरा हमने डोगरी डांस जो बच्चों से करवाया है, और हमारी लैंग्वेज जो रही है वो डोगरी ही हम इसमें रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं अपना सारा प्रोग्राम। तो सर अब ड्रग्स की जैसे प्रॉब्लम फैल रही है हमारे, तो हम इन छोटे बच्चों को अगर मौका देंगे तो ही बच्चों से ही बच्चे अवेयर होंगे। जैसे कि पीयर ग्रुप का आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा प्रेशर रहता है, तो अगर पीयर ग्रुप ही अच्छा होगा तो हमारे बच्चे अच्छा सोचेंगे, अच्छा देखेंगे तो अच्छा ही करेंगे।
Through their performances, artists exhibited J&K's rich cultural heritage, traditions, rituals, customs, and problems of the present-day social challenges. A wonderful play by a group of youngsters based on drug abuse caught the major attention of the audience during the event. Local residents praised the authorities for putting up such an outstanding show, which not only displayed their heritage but also provided a platform to the young talents to hone their skills.
जब भी जम्मू से कोई चीज़ निकलती है, कोई टैलेंट निकलता है तो बहुत प्राउड फील होता है। पहले तो बहुत ऐसे लगता था कि हमारे जम्मू से तो कोई नहीं है, तो इसका मतलब हम भी नहीं कर सकते शायद। लेकिन अब जैसे हमारे जम्मू से इतने अच्छे अच्छे टैलेंट्स निकल रहे हैं, तो ऐसे लगता है कि नहीं, हम भी उनमें से एक हो सकते हैं। अपना टैलेंट भी एक उभर कर लाने का मन करता है। तो अब तो बहुत ज़्यादा जो है जम्मू में प्रोग्रेस कर रहे हैं बच्चे। इवन सोशल मीडिया, हर एक चीज़ में बच्चे आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। पहले इतना एक्सपोजर नहीं था हमें, लेकिन अब एक्सपोजर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता मिलता जा रहा है।
To bring the cultural traditions of Jammu and Kashmir to national and international limelight, ICCR has been making numerous endeavors. It has organized festivals like Hern Festival, Geetdu Festival, Bach Festival, Kavi Sammelan, and Punjabi songs across the territory. Since its inception in July 2012 in Jammu and Kashmir, ICCR has successfully conducted over 111 cultural events and 14 international exchange programs under Horizon series, with an objective to turn youngsters into productive citizens and enable them to explore new career options.
Youth is the valuable resource of the society. If we can empower youth, if we can engage them in a social development या community development project, तो एक तो है उनका सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा और उनका सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस एंड लाइफ स्किल इसके साथ बढ़ावा मिलेगा उनको. देन व्हेन दे विल ग्रो एज ए एडल्ट, तो दे विल बिकम ए हैप्पी एंड प्रोडक्टिव सिटीजन्स एंड सिविक सिटीजन्स. और उनको भी इसके साथ साथ एक कैरियर के लिए भी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ मिलेगा.
Such initiatives taken by authorities to preserve the rich heritage of the Union Territory will go a long way in bringing the future generation closer to their roots, along with promoting cultural exchange.
Jammu and Kashmir is predominantly an agrarian economy, with about 80% of its population engaged in agriculture and allied sectors. In order to revitalize the agriculture sector and improve the economic condition of the people associated with it, authorities keeps on rolling out several initiatives for their welfare. The latest one in the row was a day-long agri exhibition cum Mega Kisan Mela in Udhampur district. With an aim to focus on issues related to farmers' welfare, along with introducing them to the latest agriculture techniques and technologies, A day-long agri-exhibition cum Mega Kisan Mela was held in Barmeen area of Udhampur district. Organized by the district's Agriculture Production and Farmers Welfare Department, the event was attended by the officers of Agriculture Department, sarpanchs of different panchayats of Khodi block and farmers on a large scale. Stalls exhibiting high-yielding hybrid seed varieties, plant saplings and latest machinery for a variety of farming-related activities were put up by various departments including agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, floriculture and many more to help farmers increase the productivity of their yield.
हम शुक्रगुजार हैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट के कि हमारे लोगों को अवेयर किया जा रहा है ताकि हमारे लोगों में जो अभी भी जो अवेयरनेस की कमी है उसको बखूबी तरीके से पूरी किया जाएगा। देखिए अभी भी बहुत स्कीमों का फ़ायदा गाँव तक नहीं पहुंच पा रहा है। हम चाहते हैं कि और ज़्यादा इम्प्रूवमेंट लाने की ज़रूरत है और अवेयर करने की ज़रूरत है ताकि गाँव तक जो इनके मुलाजिम जो है गाँव में जाएँ, गाँव में कैंप लगें ताकि लोगों को और जानकारी मिले।
जब पहले मेले नहीं होते थे लोगों को कोई पता नहीं चलता था क्या क्या इसमें मेले में क्या होता है। एक दूसरे की आइटम को देखते हैं भाई। हाँ, जब मेले में कोई आइटम अच्छी आइटम मिली तो वो घर जाकर सोचते हैं कि हम भी इस आइटम को लगाएं ताकि अपने परिवार का पालन पोषण कर सकें।
As agriculture is the mainstay of the people in Jammu and Kashmir, it is of utmost importance to keep them informed about the modern and scientific farm practices. In such a scenario, organizing Kisan Melas can really do wonders. This time, the authorities took a one step ahead by setting it up at a far-flung area so that farmers here can move towards progressive farming by deriving benefits of several government schemes.
एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट को मुबारकबाद देता हूं कि इतने इंटीरियर में आकर उधमपुर के किसान मेला लगाया गया और इस स्तर का लगाया गया। काफ़ी गैदरिंग है, आसपास की काफ़ी पंचायतों के सरपंच साहिबान और यहाँ के लोकल लोग आए हैं। यहाँ के जो पब्लिक नुमाइंदे हैं, बीडीसी चेयरमैन गोडी चनुंता, वो भी मौजूद हैं। मैं समझता हूँ कि इस तरह के मेले से जो सरकार की स्कीमें हैं, चाहे वो आत्मा स्कीम हो, चाहे पीएम किसान हो, उसकी अवेयरनेस जाती है और बहुत सारा स्कोप इस एरिया में अच्छी प्रोग्रेसिव फार्मिंग का है। और डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से जो इनिशिएटिव लिए जा रहे हैं उसके बारे में हमारे किसान भाइयों को बताया गया। मुझे उम्मीद है कि इस तरह के जो किसान मेले हैं दूर दराज के इलाकों में और किए जाएंगे।
Being a predominantly agrarian society, farmers of Jammu and Kashmir require long-term sustainable solutions. These agrocentric initiatives by the government will not only transform the condition of agriculture in the Union Territory by creating a more enabling environment for farmers, but will also help in taking the economy to a higher level. Next, we move to our section of Incredible India, where today we'll take you to plunge into the richness of tribal art and crafts of the country with Adi Mahotsav. Organized in a grand manner in New Delhi, the exhibition serves as a great platform to bring the tribal communities closer to mainstream development.
The tribal art and craft of India is simple and ethnic, yet colorful and vibrant, reflecting the country's rich cultural heritage. In a bid to provide a platform where the tribal artisans can both showcase as well as sell their artworks, Adi Mahotsav is organized every year in New Delhi. This year, the fair saw a participation of around 1,000 artists from various states of the country, forming a mini India at one place.
This is a national tribal festival which is called Adi Mahotsav, and this gives 1,000 tribal artisans who reside in the dense forests and heartlands of the country access to large markets. Our tribal artisans are world-class producers, wonderful artisans. They make world-class things.
While the display of tribal jewelry from different states reflected the effervescent tribal beauty and ethnicity, the varieties of bamboo crafts and organic food products showcased the rich and healthy tribal lifestyle. In over 200 stalls, it featured the exhibition cum sale of tribal handicrafts, paintings, handlooms, shawls, and many more artworks, leaving visitors spoiled for choice.
हमारा प्रोडक्ट बेसिकली कुल्लू शॉल्स है, हमारा इसी में ही काम रहता है। कुल्लू पट्टी में कुल्लू शॉल हम बनाते हैं और हमारा जो प्रोडक्ट है ये प्योर शिप वूल में बनता है। एक शॉल को बनाने में कम से कम 1 दिन और जो मैक्सिमम जो बड़ा डिज़ाइन होता है उसके लिए कम से कम 10 से 12 दिन लग जाता है।
As no festivity or event in India is complete without food, the fair also set up a food court where various lip-smacking dishes were available on a platter. Visitors were seen relishing different cuisines and enjoying the diverse food culture of the country.
We had food from Sikkim stall, the momos. They were fabulous, excellent. And now we are trying to explore the other cuisines of India. But the first experience was the best. If your first experience is the best, then everything is going to be best, hopefully. And it was a nice change for us to come here and see things around.
Aiming at familiarizing people with the rich and diverse culture of tribal communities across the country, the 15-day exhibition also intends to accelerate their economic welfare and bring them closer towards mainstream development. Moreover, it is an opportunity for the artisans to interact directly with art lovers and get first-hand feedback, further enabling them to improve their creations and designs.
So, that's all we have for you in this week's episode. Till we see you next week, it's goodbye from the entire production team.
Zalan kotvan vesiye yarasman talailati yarasman yar do nar khat zalan kotvan vesiye yarasman talailati yarasman.
कशर एहसास कश्मीर।
मन की बात वज़ीर-ए-आज़म जनाब नरेंद्र मोदी बावन पन्निस रेतवाद मन की बात प्रोग्रामस मज 28 फरवरी सुबह 1 बजे पन ख्याल अम पत यह मन की बात प्रोग्राम इलाकई जबान मज तर्जम आकाशवाणी तो दूरदर्शन के सारे स्टेशनों पर नशर कर। मन की बात प्रोग्राम इलाकई जबान मज तर्जम यह दोबारा रात सज 8 बजे आकाशवाणी तो दूरदर्शन के सारे स्टेशनों पर नशर कर। याद थो आतवार 28 फरवरी सुबह 1 बजे मन की बात।